Welcome to Ancient Olympia. Located in the Peloponnese region of Greece and about a 2-hour drive from my base in Kalamata, this day trip is well worth the time spent on the windy roads to get here and explore. Good morning from Ancient Olympia. This is a place I have wanted to go for so long. So when I had the opportunity to come here on a tour with a tour guide who's going to teach us all the history, I can't wait to learn about this incredible place, the home of the Olympics. Let's go. After grabbing my ticket for 12 euros, I headed into the site of the ruins to explore with a tour guide, which I really enjoyed because she told us all about the history of the games, explained each of the areas, and even gave us some interesting facts that I never knew about the Olympic Games.
And we do know exactly when the games started here in Olympia, okay? And the year was 776 BC. Okay. A long time ago, the 8th century BC. So, what happened back then and why did the game start? Apparently, they were looking for a way to stop the wars around Greece. Back then in the 8th century BC, there were independent Greek cities around Greece. Athens, Sparta, Corinth, okay, and so on. And all these Greek cities, they were always fighting one another. Maybe you have heard about it, the Peloponnesian War and so on. So all these cities were fighting over power, dominion. There were many wars going on, okay, many hostilities between them. And there was a king, King Iphitos was his name. He was ruling in Elis. Elis is a city near Olympia, about 50 kilometers away from here, okay? The ancient city has been found. So that king who ruled there in Elis, he wanted to find a way to stop the wars and he didn't know what to do. And of course, every time the ancient Greeks didn't know what to do, they asked the gods, yes. So they visited, where did they go? Delphi, they went to Delphi, okay, the oracles. So according to the story, this is what he did. He went to Delphi and he asked his question, and the answer that he got from the oracle was that if you want to restore peace around Greece for a certain period of time, you have to organize the Olympic Games and establish the truce, the sacred truce, the ceasefire. So this was the idea behind the Olympic Games. And
as you follow the path through the site, you'll walk through the gymnasium where athletes practiced, through the wrestling area, and then past the Temple of Hera, the wife of Zeus. This is the oldest temple in Olympia and was built in 590 BC. I thought that it was just going to be a stadium, but it's so much more. There are temples, there are training grounds, there's so many cool locations and ruins to visit, and she's been telling some really interesting information that I didn't know. Number one, women were not allowed, not only to not participate in the Olympics back then, but they also weren't even allowed to watch. They weren't even allowed to come in. It meant death if you came in. And the other very interesting thing is that they would participate in the nude, because the human form is perfection from the gods. One of the most interesting spots that we learned about here at Ancient Olympia was this one right here. For every single Olympic Games, summer and winter, they light the flame for the torch. Right here. Every single one. Pretty cool. After that, it was over to what I thought of as the main event. The world's first stadium. We walked under the archway, which was the entrance to the stadium for the athletes, and then it was onto the running track. This is the stadium where they would run the length of one stadion all the way to the end, 192.27 meters, 4 times. You're actually allowed to run it if you want. Would you do it in the seat? I'm gonna opt not to, but if you want to come and run just like the Olympians, you can. The final area you come to as you walk around the ruins of this ancient sports arena is perhaps the most internationally famous spot, the Temple of Zeus, which back in 430 BC was home to the golden ivory statue of Zeus in Olympia, one of the 7 ancient wonders of the world. Your ticket also includes entrance to the museum, which is only a few minutes walk from the ruins. Inside the museum, you'll be able to see tons of different sculptures and artifacts that were discovered amongst the ruins, including the statue of Nike, which was made between 425 and 420 BC of marble from Paros, as well as the statue of Hermes that dates back to the 4th century BC. There's also a pretty fantastic restaurant on the site called Ambrosia, which I highly recommend if you get hungry while you're here. It was an exhausting but awesome day in Olympia. It was literally a dream come true. If you like Greek history, if you enjoyed Athens, and you're headed towards the Peloponnese, you cannot miss out on visiting Olympia. 12 euros, an absolute bargain for the history that's there. I highly recommend taking a tour. I will link in the description for the tour guide that I used. She was so knowledgeable, so fascinating. It was just such, I can't get over, I'm so overwhelmed by just like what an awesome experience it was. If you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really supports my channel. I'm now in the chilly mountains here in the Peloponnese to explore more, so be sure that you are subscribed so that you don't miss out on this whole series of me exploring more of beautiful Greece. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.